David Ion, and today I'm doing part 2 of this battery charging cart. So I have a series of different chargers here. These on top, and this is not even all of my chargers, I have a lot of chargers. So what I'm going to do is mount these to this charging cart. I mentioned in the previous video that over here I kept getting shocked because it's on a plastic table and the chargers were putting out harmonics, so which was turning into static electricity, and it's just not fun to get shocked every time you touch the table. So what we're going to do, I'm going to mount all these up, make them look pretty. I'm using Velcro to mount the chargers in case I want to repurpose this cart for something. I'm going to zip tie all the cable connections, and then I will explain each charger and why I have this in this configuration. One of the main reasons is these chargers on top are finished chargers, and they help refresh a battery to its newer life. The problem is they can take up to 3 days to charge a battery once they discharge and recharge, depending on the battery size. So, and when they finally get done, I like to write the number of milliamps that these batteries are. And because when you reconfigure packs, you want like batteries, so similar characteristics. So I'll walk you through all that. First, I'm putting this together. These chargers are all 110, so I have a whole bunch of these that I got off of Amazon. I'm going to put these on there. This is going to double as an electrical cart too, so I can plug in random things. I'm also going to put this in. It's a Sabrent 10-port USB fast charger. It's 60 watts, which should be plenty for these chargers right here. So let's go to work. First, I'm going to take some two-sided foam tape to mount the surge protectors on. I can get this off of here. So my dad always told me if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And so in this case, I put these 3 surge protectors on here with double-sided tape, but I wanted them to really stick well, so I put 4 clamps on each. So I'm going to leave those clamped for a little while. And then we're going to do some Velcro to attach these. So I'm going to do strips of Velcro on one of the sticky sides over here, and then run a long strip to stick them to. So let's get to it. So right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Opus BTC 3400s. These are good refinishing chargers. So once I run them through these are called Wise Blue, and I've found with batteries that are in really low state of charge, it's best to use these first and get them up to where the other chargers can read them. The problem is under 2 volts, a lot of chargers will not read a lithium ion battery, and they'll just say it's bad. So what you have to do is put on this first, and it starts charging it like a NiCad battery, and then you take take the battery and I put it on this, these chargers on the bottom here. These are my boxers. And these are very good at reading the internal resistance. So in your cell packs, you want your internal resistance of your cells to be close, and you also want their milliamp hours to be very close. So what I do is run them through these first, these second, get them all the way charged up on the My Boxer, and then I run them on these Opus 3400s. And after they've run on these can take days. That's why I have so many of these. And actually, this isn't all of them. So, but we're going to get to work here. We're going to put this together, and we'll show you a few things. And if you like this, please ask any questions you have. There's an email address on our links to our video, as well as you can also put comments in the section below, and like and subscribe, please. Mark this line. These are the bolts. That should work well. These Opus chargers have fans on them, so they really need to the heat dissipation. So that's why I have the spacing the way I do here. So we're going to get some Velcro strip here and start putting this together. When I'm doing Velcro strip like this, or something with these little stickies on it, what I like to do is just pull back a little bit of the plastic film and get it attached first. So that way you don't get real crooked. Flatten that down a little bit. When I'm done with this, I'm going to zip tie all these wires together, kind of make a wiring harness out of it. Just keep things out of the way and not so messy. So a few bits of information about these Opus chargers. They have several different modes, but I really have not seen any that are better unless it's like a very high-end commercial system that will actually refresh a battery. And by refresh, it goes through a charging cycle. And in that charging cycle, it discharges and recharges the battery into kind of a renewed state back closer to its original capacity. Of course, with age, it'll never get there completely, but I have seen quite a few batteries that have gone up considerably when you refresh them with these. And going through that cycle, you also get to see, kind of how that battery is performing too, especially in an older one that's coming out of a power tool or laptop or something like that. And this might seem like a lot of power here, there's just so many cords and things like that, but I mean, really, when you're cycling these things, each battery is 3.7 volts, and if you're charging, their max charge is 4.2. So if you're 4.2 and you're doing half an amp each, it's really not a lot of watts. Leave myself enough room back here. Move these down some. Like I said, these have coolant pins on them, so I do want to give them a little bit of space. Right here, just so some wires can run through it. That may not give me enough room though, let's see. I happen to mention I'm a little OCD. So anyway, now that we've got these, the clamps are in the way. These have been clamped for quite a while now. So I'm going to take these clamps off real quick. That two-sided tape should be set pretty well after this. And that Velcro has extremely tough tape on it, so I don't have to worry about that at all. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to get some zip ties and start kind of cleaning this up a little bit. Alright, so I told you I'm a little OCD on see why. I didn't want to make you watch all that pain. But you can see here, it's very neat and clean. The back side looks very nice. So right now what I'm going to do, I've got to trim these zip ties off, and then we'll go from there. Hot rod it. So anyway, let me see if you can get a good view of that. Maybe zoom in a little bit so you can see it. There we go. So we have the chargers up front. We have the chargers on the inside, and then the bottom chargers. So another thing I like to do is I put two bins like this in the bottom, and as you can see, one says charged, the other one says not tested. But so that way, if I tear apart a battery pack, I can just throw the not tested ones in there, and then the charged ones after they're done. So these are actually not tested, they're in the wrong box. But so these will fit great underneath here. So one mistake I made here is before I spent hours wiring this and making it look pretty, I did not test that there was the power, or that everything was working. So before I do this, let me show you a view of the backside. I think it looks very good, in my opinion. That's a pretty looking setup, and it's clean. These are all put down with Velcro, and it's very solid. That Velcro is the stickiest Velcro I've ever seen. These are just kind of sitting here, and I've got a Sabrient 10 port USB, and so really it's not going to put, kind of joke like, here's some nerd terms, but each battery is 3.7 volts, and they're only pulling about a half amp on this charger, so this is 60 watts. You will never get 60 watts with this amount. So, but here's the kind of finished product. So let's turn it on, make sure it works. And like I mentioned earlier, the reason I'm doing this is because it was on this plastic table over here. It was putting out harmonics that were turning into static electricity and shocking the fire out of me when I touched it. So before I did do the video on grading batteries, I wanted to not get shocked, so I think you can understand that. Even though it might be funny, but alright, let's turn them on. Alright, she's alive. All the chargers are lighting up. The chargers inside are lighting up, except for this one. Oh, there you go. Cord is just loose. And the bottom chargers are lit up. Okay, so I told you I'd tell you the configuration here and why I picked this. So these chargers, these Opus 3400s, they have a refinishing grade to bring 18650s and other cells up to another, back towards what they were new. I mean, they won't get all the way new, but it brings them back up. So basically, these are the last step, and you have to write on the batteries, and it takes forever, so I didn't want to lean down a ton for this.
And these are the initial ones. These Wise Blues are very good at taking a battery and, you know, starting it out as charging like a Nikon to get it up over 2 volts so the lithium chargers pick it up. And then the My Boxers are good for internal resistance measurement. So anyway, this is the finish of this build. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe, and look forward to battery grading, but before that we're going to build a hot rod golf cart. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and I have a special assistant coming with me, so you should get a kick out of him. He's pretty entertaining. Anyway, I'm David Ion,